What is up, work here? This is end of the season, and we're looking at a heroic Farok kill where we're on farm. It's a partial pug. Can't even get the full guild on, but we are healing this. Right out of the gate, Tears Deliverance, Hand of Divinity. We're going to Beacon of Virtue into Divine Toll, into Daybreak, and everyone is up, and we hit like 300k. Not that that super matters. We have to dispel every single time our dispel's on cooldown. I'm running. I need to dispel immediately. I think I tried. And in the beginning phase, we're just looking to stabilize, and I'm using my Infusion of Lights as flashlights, so for fast ones. But we'll see just how fast my mana dies. And there's a good Holy Light. There we go. So the way that this build works is that we're going to do a rotation sort of Holy Shock, obviously. And we're going to get Infusion of Light procs, those parentheses there. With those, we should be using Holy Light if we can live it. If you Holy Light, which is really slow, but it's an AoE heal, if you do that during Infusion of Light, you're actually going to get mana back. That is our give me mana back mechanic. But if people are dying, we're going to Flash of Light, unless we have Holy Shock off cooldown, which I do here. So it ends up looking like Holy Shock, and if you can do it, I will then kind of multiply that with Beacon of Virtue, which is an AoE heal, into Holy Light, and we can actually stabilize our mana bar pretty well. So this phase, pretty easy. We're a little behind on dispels. We don't have a monk or I guess we do have a priest, but we're not in comms. This is like, again, half pug. So, you know, behind the dispels. Here we go into, again, the full combo. Tears into Hand of Divinity, into Beacon of Virtue. And looks like we've already sent, unfortunately, our Daybreak and Divine Toll to keep the group up, but that's fine. We're able to stabilize with the healers that we have here. But it's really that multiplying by Beacon of Virtue that kind of smart beacons everyone. It's kind of like adaptive swarm. It's just going to pick 5 low people. Are they the lowest ones? I'm not sure. But if you look at the effect of healing later on, which I don't break down in this case, it does pick the tanks quite frequently. So a lot of HPals, you'll beacon the tanks if it's like prog and maybe the tanks are dying or something like that. But in this case, my job is very much like what a Resto Druid or Resto Shaman would be doing. And I am just trying to triage the party overall, the entire raid. Whereas we have our Prevoker is out there healing the ads and a tiny bit more mobile than me, perhaps, and well suited for healing those up. I can heal them up too, but I think they do a better job. And I'm out here just healing the party, which is why this is like a healing parse fest for me. I just get to hit all of these. And this is end of season. You know, I have, like, for me, all the gear I would ever need. I kind of geared this character for Ret because Ret was like incredible this season, but I still do have, like, you know, really good HPal utility here, or rather gear. So the interesting is, like, for me, was that at the beginning of the season, I was coming from season 2 healing with like Rashok's Molten Heart and whatnot, and we could just infinitely Holy Shock and do everything we wanted. We would even DPS during it. I don't think I've hit the boss once. That's not meaningful DPS, even if I was in raid. And again, Holy Shocking the boss is like literally trolling in raid because you're supposed to be spreading your Glimmer of Light to then pop like a huge Daybreak. So it's been like a season of adjusting where we actually sit here and heal and I don't touch the boss ever. Mythic Plus, of course, I'm going to be Crusader striking and generating holy power this way, but you're pretty and even though they buffed us a little bit on the mana cost of Crusader strike and stuff like that, and even Judgment, I'm not judgmenting anybody. You'll see Crusader strike and Judgment and raid, not a great idea, and not necessary. Mythic Plus is a very different concept over there, and damage is a tiny bit more relevant, but not really. But so it's been an adjustment to like actually sit here, do Radiance of the Sunwelling, you know, look at these infusion procs, and actually, you know, judge, can I generate my mana back? Because like, look how low it is. I don't know when it was, but I definitely popped that mana potion, which is the 3-minute cooldown right there on my bars. But when I can, we want to sort of, again, spread Holy Shocks. And then in the meantime, you want to spend your Infusion of Lights on Holy Light to get your mana back. So I can stabilize my mana bar if I'm paying attention. If I kind of just panic Holy Shock, use all my spells without using Infusion of Light, I can easily go on this And I doubt any other healer here has a mana pot. I'm still using a mana pot because Beacon of Virtue is expensive. It's really expensive to use. I try to be a little bit selective, but on this, half pug run, people are taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Maybe some people are kind of low geared as well. So I'm having to actually, pump pretty hard, which is why this is kind of a reasonable healing parse for me. Not that that really means anything at all, but I just thought it would be a cool way to kind of end the season is just look at I've healed this fight particularly, I think 10 times, 11 times. No legendary yet for me, but anyway, much Holy Paladin. And I would say on review of the season and overall, even with the spec changes in Holy Paladin feeling a tiny bit semi-useless in keys, at high keys anyway. In Raid, I'm still really happy. I like just Holy Shocking things when I can. And Divine Toll Daybreak is really nice. It's if you did a good job spreading Holy Shock and your Glimmer, you get to Daybreak and be boom, feels good. Into more of that, directly into the Divine Toll, into more Holy Shocks, and then you multiply it against your Beacon of Virtue. And then when you're low on mana, kind of right now, as I drop the seed, I'm first seed, then you get to Holy Light. I don't know, it's not bad. I kind of like it, and the results are pretty good. On farm, we're doing well, obviously, on the healing meters, and we can help keep the group up. I've seen in later on in Mythic Smolder or something like that, the HPal is quite a bit below Mistweaver, but not massively relevant again in just doing heroic. So I very much liked Holy Paladin. I've kind of gone back and forth because I was kind of sad that in Mythic Plus it was a little bit under throughput. It felt like in a lot of cases. Especially for spot healing compared to Mistweaver. But in Raid, quite like it. Here it is, our 11th kill. Still did not get the legendary. At this point in the season, I kind of don't care anymore. I'm just having fun. And I'm playing a lot of Outlaw Rogue these days. And at least our tank, our Blood TK, did get the legendary. And now I believe he also wins this Raid shard. So he is all set there. That wraps it up for this. Probably will not be making any more HPal content this season, but I think I'm pretty happy to keep HPal as a main. It really resonates with me the way that I like to think about healing, and kind of doing hots now like a Resto Druid, but then having some big bang, Daybreak, Divine Toll feels good, and I like having a shield. I like being a paladin. Okay, that wraps it up. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.